Koby, what's happening?
What's going on, Joe?
Is it weird that your name's Koby and you don't play basketball really? You had to go sell real estate because you probably weren't very good at it.
Hey, I can play basketball, okay? It's just I wasn't any good, okay? But what's funny is I used to play basketball all the time when I was a kid, and I used to carry my ID around because people were like, "Your name's not Kobe, your name's not Kobe." And I'm like, "Look, here's my ID. I'm not making this up." They're like, "You're white Kobe."
Well, we were, you and I were the age when we would like at school you'd throw something in the trash can and you'd yell Kobe.
Oh, totally. For sure, all the time. But I'd turn around and be like, "What?" I'd be like, "What?"
Dude, tell us what you do in the real estate space.
So we operate a real estate team, mortgage office, insurance office, title company, also help on the flip investment side a little bit. So we got all our hands in the cookie jars.
Tell me about your personal life. Yeah, you married? You got kids? What do you do for fun?
Work for fun. I have three kids: 6 month old, or 6 month old, 6 year old, a 4 year old, and a 4 month old, and two girls and a boy. Married for going on 13 years. You know, rock and roll. My wife's actually on the team as a real estate agent. That's how I got onto the team to help manage the team. Was through my wife. So I manage every realtor except for her. I want to make that clear. My wife is the boss of her own business, and I don't tell her what to do in her business. But yeah,
What's
hobbies are tough. It's so busy all the time, you know.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, like, dude, how old are your kids again?
6, 4, and 4 months old.
Wow, congrats, man. I remember you telling me that. Yeah, dude, today my wife is a nurse. She's at the hospital working today, and yeah, my 4 year old peed the bed. When we woke up, there was my 4 year old peed the bed. 9 year old doesn't feel good, staying home from school. It's like a whole thing, man. Yeah, for sure. We what? Yeah, tell me about. You made a joke about not managing your wife. Yeah, what's it like working together? Because people would be like, all right, you got to work together, you got to parent together, you gotta, or is it like, is it easy because it's kind of flexible? Because I know most people think that's the case.
Yeah, it's been a challenge for sure. We worked together now 5 years. I've been managing the real estate side of the business for 5 years. Um, it was difficult. It was probably close to divorce multiple times, and that's a real thing. It's not easy to work with your spouse because when is it? Like an example is I bring a new agent on, and my wife will be like, "They suck, they're terrible," and it's like, it, well, is it me? Like I hired a crappy person, so should I take that personally? Like when am I taking feedback as a husband, and when am I taking feedback as the general manager, the coach, or the team leader? If you, I'm not a team
Yeah,
leader, but and
yeah,
kind of those roles, it's tough to define what that is. But I would tell you, it is easier now because she's running her real estate business, even though she is on the team. She's
yeah.
very independent, running her own company, and I've learned through some uh, trial and practice, if you will, that if you communicate, that's going to be a way better model than telling her nothing. So I just overly communicate now with a lot of our businesses.
Oh, that's really good advice, man. Yeah, for sure. Um, what's your title at the company?
So I'm general manager of the Bridal team. That's what I tell people at least.
Okay, are you out in the field at all? Are you doing sales
No,
anymore? No.
I've never done real estate sales, so I have no real estate experience at all. I was working in corporate America before for a long time, so managing in different roles and districts and directors, and I never did real estate sales ever.
Got it. And then, so you guys will do just under 1,000 units this year. Does that sound right?
Yeah, we average about anywhere between 950 to 985 the last couple of years. So this year we are on track to probably eclipse that 1,000. So
Wow. And how many agents is that?
today on the team we have 58 realtors.
So they're working hard, those agents, right? They're doing deals.
Yes.
Will you tell me
Yeah.
about that, right? Like, so like 1,000 units is no joke. And especially with that amount of agents, I believe. So you're in, did you tell us where you're from or where you live? Where you sell?
So we are in Omaha, Nebraska. Council Bluffs, Iowa is a suburb near us, and then Lincoln, Nebraska is a suburb. But the majority of our business, over 80%, is in Omaha, Nebraska.
Is there somewhere called Saddle Creek there?
Yes,
Yes. So what's the average price point there?
325.
That's crazy, man. All right, cool. So can you break it down to me, man? Like, so you must have like, if you have 50 agents, They're probably all out there like killers, right? Doing probably what, like 10 to 20 units each.
We have a minimum expectation of 2 sales a month or you don't work with us. So we really try to push for 24 for the year, right? And I've got agents doing 50 some. And of course we have new agents that just started that have 2. But for the most part, we try to have 2 sales a month per realtor. And that's where the money is. I mean, in our business, and again, that's average. So I mean, I have in some of my suburbs, it's 275 or 250. So you've got to sell a lot of units to make the income, which everybody says 6 figures, 6 figures. So if you want to make 6 figures, you've got to sell, a decent amount of houses.
Yo, do you know Keegan from Florida? Paramount Home
Uh,
Group? I talked to him. We did a pod like a week or two ago. He said the same thing, dude. He was like, dude, you got to do 2 deals or it bounce. Now, do I have permission to be direct with you?
oh,
Do you hold that standard? Is it like if 90 days goes by and I'm not selling something, are we like, am I out? Like how do you do that, man? Like if I'm an agent and like do you hold that standard, right? And I'll share this, man. I had an aha moment when like maybe we weren't attracting the avatar we really wanted at Oz Group. And I had a mentor that said to me, was like, Joe Oz, do you have standards? And I was like, yeah, that's an easy question to answer, right? Yes. He's like, do you have standards? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, cool. So, and then he pulled up everything. He's like, all right, cool. So there were 2 metrics. He was like, all right, so Mary hasn't sold a house in 6 months. That's a standard that you'll accept. And you're like, hold on. And he's like, I'm like, where is he going? He's like, Bob, he's got 500 past due tasks and follow-up boss. Is that your standard? And I was like, holy shit, I don't have any I don't have standards, So can you talk to us about that and like your journey getting there and how you actually hold the agents accountable?
You know what? I appreciate you sharing that. I think what's interesting is when I do interviews with agents all the time, what's so funny is when you're talking to agents in the field, they've been doing it a year or 2, and the average realtor in our community sells 75% of realtors sell 3 or less houses a year, right? So when I tell them you got to sell 24, they're like, that's never going to happen. And they're like, do you hold the standard? Do you hold the line? And here's what I always tell people is I don't care about the number, I care about effort. So I'm one where you're going to be in the office. It's that simple. So you're going to come into the office and you're going to attend all of our meetings and you're going to stay late and you're going to come to call night and you're going to grind and I'm going to see your activity. Because activity, if I can see it, Joe, I don't care if you're getting the 2 sales because I can see it. You're putting in the work because some people that come in are 18. They need more time. Some people need sales skills. So I would tell you that I focus on the effort, less on the number. So if I see an agent struggling, but they're coming in, I give them more time. But we actually look at just so you know, from a numbers perspective, we look at a report every single week. It's my rolling 90 report. And if I have agents that don't have a sale, and I look at 6 sales in 90 days, right? So if I see agents underperforming or not selling at all, then we have really aggressive cliff conversations, or we have like, hey, this may not be working out for you. Or it might be like, hey, you know what, Joe? I haven't seen the office the last couple months. You only have 3 sales. What are you thinking that we should change? And then let them self-discover a little bit. And then it's like, well, Joe, I think maybe you're getting distracted at home. I think I need to have you come in. I need to have you hit this list and this and that. So like we use those every single week. I'm looking at my 30, 60, 90 report. So I would tell you, we very rarely have agents blank out. And if they're getting 60 days and they don't have a sale, it's an aggressive cliff conversation for sure.
So to oversee that type of, I'm gonna switch gears a little bit, but yeah, essentially you're like, yeah, I think my best agent took her 7 months to get a deal, right? And like you gotta like you watch those leading indicators, not the like. I always thought it was so silly, like when you see like on real estate office, like in social media, they're like ringing the bell for like because they got paid or whatever, right? Like should be ringing a bell because you got a listing signed, you know what I mean? Or ringing a bell because you said a phone. Yeah, like so like we do the same thing. So we track the leading indicator. We celebrate. One thing that we changed our culture is we celebrate the leading indicators. Like when we do Monday power ups, we're like listings signed and buyer offers accepted, right? So to run that org, man, can you talk to me a little bit about your org chart from like the top down, like leadership, right? Like who is like overseeing, like, because I think, you see like there's marketing, there's ISAs, there's sales managers, there's deal doctors, there's, geez Louis, I've seen everything, right? Pod leaders, all this stuff, man. So 50 agents, like how do you, like, can you kind of walk me through what that would look like?
Yeah, and we've tried it all too, all right, pod leaders and all that fun stuff. So today we have the team leader who's still in production. He'll do 25 to 30 million himself. We have me as the general manager, if you will, and I like to tell people that, like, I'm more focused on recruiting and then behind the scenes, like what tools and support and stuff you need Joe to sell a lot of houses, right? And then I've got an accountability sales coach, and his job is to help you start and then to help you grow your business throughout the career. And then I have, so I don't do pod leaders. I've got a dedicated accountability sales coach. And then I have an analyst, a numbers analyst, because we run all these companies, and they give me all the reporting for all of our stuff. So I have dashboards upon dashboards upon dashboards. So he's just a data guy behind the scenes. And then I have TCs, right? I got 2 TCs that are assigned to realtors, and then I have a bunch of ISAs and VAs overseas as well. But for the most part, that's our leadership team. So it's pretty lean, it's not too crazy.
So can I repeat that back to you? So you're the general manager, you're doing recruiting, you're doing like systems and models and tools, and you're maintaining relationships with channel partners and stuff like that, higher level stuff. And then there's a team leader, there is a sales manager, and then you said a numbers person, correct?
We have an analyst, a numbers person that grabs all of our stuff. And then I have an operations manager that does sales and ops, and that's like onboarding, training, systems, and stuff like that.
I'm like drawing it out. Sorry, I like love this stuff, man, because there's so many different ways to do it, right? So because to do what you're doing and run what you're running is really impressive, man. It's really cool, man. I look up to you, man, and it's cool.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
It's cool to see. So who do the agents report to?
So on a day-to-day basis, it's going to split between, if they need help with like ops systems back end, my operations manager. If it's front end, sales, overcoming objections, writing offers, in the field, fixing, deal doctor, like you said, that's my accountability sales coach.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I kind of divided the 2 roles, if you will.
And who does the so you have a new agent that's onboarding to your org. Who does that onboarding?
Operations manager.
Got it. Is there sales in that onboarding?
Yeah.
So, but that person's going to handle all that.
Yeah, it's like yes and no. Like, I think the other thing that we toy around with all the time is how much do I deliver to them during onboarding? Is it 1 day? Is it 2 days? So I have tried to deliver a small amount of stuff, and then I have mandatory meetings for new agents throughout the week that are required to attend. My sales coach runs those. So my operations manager that does onboarding doesn't do a lot with sales. It's just really like get your Zillow profile set up, your realtor profile, your Google My Business profile. Here's the CRM, right? Like all the back end junk, right?
And so the team leader then, what does that person's job description look like or their day to day?
So he's in the field, right? So he's selling 25, 30 million a year. He's dealing with hiring clients. He's going on listing appointments. He's in the trenches. We have a mastermind every week that he runs, and we have a sales meeting every week that he attends. I run the meeting, but my team leader I will have him jump in on like current market conditions, what's working, what's not, sales objections, since he's in the field. So like I run it, and then like I said, the team leader, Adam, will jump in and give his pitch, if you will. But we run an hour and 10-minute meeting. He'll probably talk for 10 or 15 minutes, and I'll talk for the other.
That's cool. I think that's the staying the lean and mean part is really important. And I know a lot of teams your size, they do a lot of the overseas, the virtual assistant kind of international partners, whatever you want to call them, right? Because you're building out on your own. What is the value prop? Like, why do we join Koby's team?
It depends on what they ask for, right? So if they're looking for, leads, or they're looking for, I just started. But really what it comes down to is, I tell people this all the time. You want to get paid like a pro athlete. Every pro athlete I know has a coach. Who's your coach? I have a full-time dedicated sales coach to build your company, right? You have a mentor, and I don't like mentors for this reason in the real estate industry. And the reason why I don't like mentors in the real estate industry, and I air quoted this, because these aren't mentors. These are, and this sounds bad, these are real estate agents that maybe built a business 25 years ago. They have no idea how to use AI. They have no idea how to use computers, but they're supposed to tell you how to start a business today. I think it's a joke. So I don't like mentors in that avenue. I like someone that, a sales accountability coach, because that's what it comes down to, Joe. Either you made the calls or you didn't. You either added notes or you didn't. You either went on an appointment or you didn't. It's not like, hey, follow me around today and pick my signs up and grab my coffee and talk to two people. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
and that's what mentors make you do. They do all the BS. So really, to me, Joe, that's what I say on every appointment or interview or time I sit with an agent is, hey, you're going to get leads and systems and tech, and everyone's got cool stuff. And again, I'm a team. So like, you're going to get cool stuff from all these other places. But the only thing they're not going to give you is one-on-one coaching and one-on-one accountability meetings. No broker or team, for the most part, and within reason, right? Smaller ones, within reason, are going to do that. Because team leaders, sadly, are in production. So they don't know how to lead people. They know how to go do sales. But there's a reason why you go to college from a professor and not from some random, person at Barnes & Noble. So we're trying to get somebody at Barnes & Noble, and I love Barnes & Noble, but it's like trying to get someone at Barnes & Noble to explain how to do a profession, or someone who's going to college. Who would you rather learn from? A teacher or some person has a name tag on?
That's awesome. Who is the avatar? Like, who's the person? There's something I've recently learned in my business, right? Like, dude, I made a huge mistake. I was like, one of my defects of character, one of my like blind spots is I'm just overly optimistic, and I think everybody can do it. Like, if I can do it, I think I'm a dummy, right? So if I can do it, anybody can do it. You know what I mean? And then I also think like I was just saying this, man. We were trying to recruit to Oz Group or whatever. Like, I just was trying to recruit everybody. Like, I thought everybody was a fit, right? And then I had another mentor who was like, dude, look back at your people, dude. Who are your top 3 people? What do they look like? What do they sound like? Where do they shop? What do they, what kind of cars they drive? How do they treat people? Like, whatever that is, right? So now it's like, I found out who's not, because dude, I just want to throw a party. I want everybody to come. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what you look like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody's cool, but it's not really the case. I discovered very easily who's not our avatar, and it's, number one, it's like part-time aid. Like, when I say part-time, like, if I have a bartender that's like crushing, like, we've had bartenders that crush, right? Or a personal trainer.
Great.
So like, what I mean by part-time is like when I get a teacher that's like, well, I have summers off and I have weekends off. So I'm going to be a real estate agent. I'm like, it's not going to work, right? The best, like, we have bartenders that like, I didn't even know this person was a bartender. You know what I mean? Like, I never even knew about it. They're just crushing real estate, and they want to, I don't know, they want to go make a couple $100 2-3 times a night, a week, or whatever. So the part-time people, how do I say this, man? I'm gonna say it like this: the people that are a little like you said, the people that they're just not gonna adapt to the technology.
Yeah.
I always say this, man: if you've been in the business for a really long time, right now, dude, the who moved my cheese, real estate is who moved my cheese. Like, every month, it's who moved my cheese. And if you're gonna, and that leads me to the next part, was like the victim language thing, right? If I get on the phone with you and you're like, well, broker sucks and the leads suck and the blah blah blah, then it's like, all right, that's not a fit, right? Because dude, I don't want to figure new shit out every week, but I do now if I want to run a business. I think not just real estate, anywhere, right? So we discovered, and we're a Zillow Flex team too, so we realized like the burnout for the agents came from driving. If you're not right where the leads are, that was a mistake we made. We'd be like, oh, they're like, we'll drive, and I'm like, oh, sure, cool. And it's like,
they all say that.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, what does the avatar look like? Who's going to succeed the most in your org?
I tell people, and Joe, you said it too. It's the most successful people aren't smart, and the reason why they're not necessarily smart is because they don't ask questions. They just do crap. They make mistakes, they fall forward. The people that analyze and think and plan, and I'm going to come up with the best marketing plan, the best email, well, guess what? While you're doing all that junk, I'm out there selling. Yeah, so like, totally. I like people that, and I'm not saying analytical isn't great, but I have found analytical to be more challenging. But one of the things I focus on is, are you coachable, as in criticism and feedback, because I'm going to constantly listen to you? Are you a player, which is a lifelong learner to me? Do you invest in your education, podcasts, and books in your mind? That's your greatest strength. So sometimes I'll even ask, like, what podcasts do you listen to? What books are you reading? And if they're like, oh, no, I don't do any of that, it's like, man, you're not a fit for us. Because what are you doing all day? Just sitting around waiting for someone to give you money? So coachable, a player / lifelong learner. And then the third one is, are you willing to put in the work? And it's that simple. Are you going to work hard, or did you get into real estate to not work? Because you can't make 6 figures if you haven't worked the hardest in your life to start. right? So I get in time you can make money, but to start you got to work your ass off.
It's
So
like
those
anything.
three things.
Yeah, no, for sure. Someone used the analogy of like, so I guess a screening call. I'm not gonna call it a recruiting call. On like a screening
Sure.
call, someone used an analogy of like, and talking to an agent, like, oh hey, where you grew up, did you ever go to a playground? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, all right, you remember the merry-go-round? They're like, yeah. Remember that thing was like the heavy steel one, right? Remember that one? And they're
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Remember how hard it was to get that thing moving, man? They're like, yeah.
Yes.
And they're like, cool. But remember, once you got it moving, you just kind of needed like two fingers to kind of, and that's your real estate career. In the beginning, we're gonna have to like really bend our knees and push into it. But then once it gets going, man, it's gonna, it's gonna continue to give and give and give and give. I think that's a really good analogy. And I think on that
I
recruiting
like
call,
that.
on that screening call, the person was like, great. Are you willing to do everything I tell you to do? Are you willing to do everything I'm going to tell you to call your friends and family, sit open houses, call leads, whatever, do this. Are you willing to do all of those things in order to get that merry-go-round moving fast? And if they say yes, he's like, yeah, then we should probably continue to have a conversation.
I like that analogy.
That one's good, right? I like that. I like it too. Cool, man. So do you don't do anything for fun, man? What do you do for you, man? Do you ever go to the gym? Anything at all?
I mean, yes, I like to do yoga.
Okay.
So I like to hit the gym. I like to do yoga, but I'm not like a big like bodybuilder. So I like to get in, get out a little bit. I also like to golf, but I mean, who the hell has time for that with
Yeah.
three littles?
I thought you were
So
a golf guy. The golf thing's bonkers, man, because guys just disappear for like 8 hours, and like I don't know how they get away. I don't know how.
I
Yo,
can't.
I was told that's the point.
It's like fishing. It's like fishing is huge, and it's like, why are you going fishing? You don't even like fishing. I'm like, well,
Lost you. Can you hear me? Weird. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Can you hear me?
yeah, I hear you.
Cool. For some reason, that's right. We can edit that out. Yeah, I'm lucky, man. I found surfing when I came where I moved to the West Coast, and I'm really close to the beach, man. I can go in, surf for an hour. I can do the whole thing in like probably 3 hours. And I wake up really early to do it. Like I'll be in the water by like 6 a.m., 6:30, depending on when the light comes out. So I can like get it all kind of sorted out. What? So I was asking you this when we first. By the way, I made a joke when we first were talking about the. What do you think about the compass thing?
Yeah.
Compass anywhere.
Yeah, we're at Berkshire Hathaway, so luckily we're not involved with that. I think at the end of the day, I mean, it's just the real estate industry is going to change, right? Like you said earlier, if you're not down to change, you might as well get out of this business because the thing changes every week. Um, I think it'll be interesting. I would love to see how that changes the dynamic, the power play, if you will. I think the biggest thing that's scary is some of these bigger players have such huge market share, it's hard for others to compete, right? And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. These lead platforms. We don't have to say the names, but it's like the market share that these companies have. It's almost unfair, right? I'm going to say a monopoly because I'm not a big monopolist guy, but it's. So it'll be interesting to see how they could throw their weight around against some of these other players, if you will. I think that would be huge, but I love competition. So I also think at the end of the day, let's say this Compass thing becomes, I don't know, Terminator, some crazy empire, if you will. The cool thing about entrepreneurs in our industry is they'll just start another company, right? Like
Yeah.
EXP and Real and LPT, and I mean, these companies weren't around a few years ago. So like, I think at the end of the day, people continue to evolve and change. And at the end of the day, if they're not doing the right thing for the clients, I don't think people stick around. So, but I would love to see how the dynamics play out and how it changes. But I'm excited about it. To me, it's like I love change. I worked at AT&T for 10 years in corporate America, and one thing that is interesting in that industry is you think of how big AT&T or Verizon is. I mean, T-Mobile bought Sprint. It's just behemoths. But at the end of the day, it continues to drive innovation, pop-ups, and other changes in the wireless industry. And at the end of the day, people are only going to stick around if it makes a lot of sense for the consumer.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think there's
What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm friends with a lot of really smart people that look at the whole thing and tells me financially it looks like a really bad deal. But that's not why they're doing it, right? Like they're doing it. It's funny, man, because everyone's playing chess, right? Like there's steps. Like this move is to show is gonna what. Well, there's the clear cooperation thing, right? And so like this, all of us, dude. Like last week, everyone's like, "Oh, clear cooperation, Compass." Ooh, now it's like, I think it was Mike Del Prete, right? He posted that thing where it was like, Compass has a billboard that says see 25% of listings a week before they hit the market. And he crossed it out, it says 50% now. It says so it's like see 50% of listings before they go live to other portals or whatever. And so it's a power play. It's a play for control, right? Like
Yes.
Robert's he's a Wall Street guy, right? So he's a Wall Street guy and he's playing a different game, right?
Yes.
And what's interesting to see is that essentially anywhere, the number was thrown around between like 2.9 and 3.5 billion in debt, right? So essentially what's happening is like Compass just bought they paid money for a bunch of debt, right? And so now this play has got to work for them, man, right? Like and there's a lot of ways that you can fumble the ball. And, with clear cooperation, right? I understand that thing, man. And by the way, like, I'm like you, dude. Like, this is business, dude. Like, everyone go after it, and that, like, Robert, dude, like, what he's doing, he's just trying to win, man. And God bless him, right? But I think what one thing that's weird is like Compass caters to like the high end community, like the Smile in the United States, right? Like LA to New York, like that's where they are. Like and the Century 21s, the ERAs, I think it's Better Homes, right? Like a lot of that is like middle America, man. And dude, a lot of that middle America, man, is dude, those are like those are clear cooperation NAR MLS people, right? Like those are people that are like, dude, they're like on the up and up. They're not trying to revolutionize the real estate industry and burn it down, right? And so that I could see, I think a big chunk of that is franchises that are owned, right? Those will get flipped to Compasses. And then the rest, I mean, they own a certain amount. And the other part is franchises. And the franchisees are, like you were saying, the franchisees are, they're entrepreneurs, man. Like, they're like, dude, like, and that's where it's going to get a little weird is like, dude, and that's where you said they could break off, do their own thing, join something else. But I do believe that, when they pulled that move, they went from like, everyone's like, oh, we're not really, to like, oh shit, these guys are really, and that dude, Robert, he's like going for it, man, which I really respect, dude. He's like totally going for it, man. So yeah, if this play plays out for them, that'll be a great play for them. I think there's they got to execute it perfectly. There's a lot of ways to fumble the ball, just like anything else. And I'll just say this, is I think, dude, we are living in the great consolidation and everything is becoming one, dude, whether it's Amazon or Google. Like there's Google and then there's Bing. Well, like what percentage market share does Bing have, right?
It's like,
if you look at Netflix, like all TV that we watch now looks like Netflix, right? But what market share does Hulu or Peacock or Food, like what market share do they have, right?
Sure, of course.
And so that's what we're looking at, man, like the Uber Lyft thing, but like, yeah, so we'll just see what happens. And dude, I just know that I can't control any of it. And I'm just going to try and do the right thing. And, if everything falls apart, Koby might give me a job. You know what I mean? If I really,
Well, I think at the end of the day too, Joe, I mean, it's like, and I think about this because it's a way to me also, if there's people that are nervous or on the sideline, it's like, well, I mean, I run a team, come over and join me. You don't have to worry about the name on the outside. But I think the other thing to think about is when I worked at AT&T, they bought a company called Altel. And there was a lot of clients that had Altel. I don't remember the 10 million, 20 million. It was big. And they had to get every person a new cell phone. Every friggin' person. And some people don't get a phone for 10 years. 10 years. So you had to get every client to drive into a store and get a phone. Every store. And at the end of the day, they didn't do well with it. It's reported, you can look it up, it's been reported many times that they fumbled the ball pretty badly. But last time I checked, AT&T is still the second largest in the country when it comes to the mobile industry. So it's like, they'll figure it out, people will pick up pieces, stuff goes around. I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, especially with tech and AI and the way kind of things are moving and grooving, I don't think people are going to stick with it. I think they're going to be like, hey, you know what? If this isn't the brand for me, or if Compass isn't the good feeling, because again, Better Homes is huge in my market, really big, right behind Berkshire. Our market share is insane. I mean, Warren Buffett lives here, right? I mean, you're not going to beat Warren, in my opinion, in his backyard. So, worst case scenario, I still think at the end of the day, people will start their own thing or join other cloud services. They'll figure it out, just like any other industry, you know?
Yeah, 100%, man. Let me ask you this. What do you see, what's your market like where you are in Omaha, right? Like, is it buyer's market, seller's market? Are you still going strong? And then, what's your market like where you are? Like, take me through it. Like, I'm an agent coming in. I'm Joe Haas. I'm like, you know what, dude? I'm coming to Omaha. I'm coming to work for you. What should I expect from this market?
You know what's funny is I tell people all the time, I go, tell me why people buy and sell houses, Joe. Tell me why they do it. Because I don't care if the interest rate is 20%, I don't care if it's 1%. If I focus on the 5 things, Joe, why people buy and sell real estate, you're going to be just fine, right? You're going to be just fine. Here's the other thing I'll tell you, Joe, is, and we don't have to cover the 5 right now, but normally I would cover the 5 with them, right? You know, death, divorce. But you're going to be fine, Joe. Here's the second thing I'll tell you is agents that start in the business, you're in a great opportunity time. You know why? Because you didn't know anything different than yesterday. So you're going to work harder than the agents that got their license years ago. The ones that worked years ago thought it was easier. So they developed lazy or poor habits. So the great news is you aren't going to know any different. You're going to outwork them. But as far as like buyer, seller, if it's under 400,000, so just a little bit above my average sales price, it's multiple offers. You're writing, you're getting beat out. Like
Wow.
you're seeing stuff move quickly.
Wow.
If it's over, say, 60 to maybe $1 million, you're looking at it sitting for a period of time of maybe 45 to 60 days, but it's still very, very much a seller's market. Now we're seeing glimpses and pockets of buyers' markets, and some people are like, well, there's price reductions. Yeah, but they overlisted at $20,000. They listed it for the highest and the best in the market. So was it really a reduction, or is it just a correction based on others? But for the most part, it's still a fantastic market. The Midwest is kind of insulated because we don't have the coast, we don't have cost of living so high, we don't have like these huge shifts. The political landscape, for the most part, doesn't impact us as badly because this isn't a second home. This isn't like you got to invest 17 years of your life. Like you can get a house here for pretty reasonable, $200-some thousand, and you're not too far outside of the city. So wow. It's still a pretty good market here, Joe.
Oh, true or false? Omaha is in Nebraska.
True.
Did you ever listen to the Bruce Springsteen album, Nebraska?
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite records, just so you know. That's all. That's all. I have a shirt that says Bruce Springsteen, Nebraska. Okay. That was completely had nothing to do with anything. And I did quiz you on where your city was, but you answered that correctly.
Good.
Now, any wild, it doesn't have to be wild, but all right, what are the wild predictions people are saying about the real estate market in 2026? And what do you perceive how to shake out? Now, I know you don't have a crystal ball. I'm not going to hold you to it, but anything, what do you see it's going to happen, man?
Well, it's so great to talk to people because they're all the best forecasters, you know. Oh, I read this, you know, I got the guys that are like, oh, I'm waiting for the market to crash, you know, it's going under. And it's like, guys, have you seen the demand versus the build, right? Like you have it, we all have it. Like there's not enough buildings. It's just that simple. There's just not enough new construction incentives for someone to build a house. It's that simple. What's the point of building if it's slim margins and you're getting beat up and it's like, So I love that side of it, you know, and then I also love like, we're waiting for rates to drop to 3%. And it's like, okay, great. Well, the bad news is we just need another pandemic. You know, so it's like, it's trying to find that.
Oh, that's like being like, oh, do you want to go see Post Malone tonight? You're like, oh, I'm waiting for Led Zeppelin to come back. You're like, dude, I hate to break it to you, dude.
Yeah, like, it's so funny, but the sad thing is, depending on the media, social media, you know, X or Facebook or Insta or TikTok or let's say the crazy news. That's what I call it, the crazy news. You know, turning on the traditional TV and watching the crazies on TV because they're nuts. Like, I mean, I don't know why anybody would watch TV. It's like every time you watch, the world's ending, we're all trying to kill each other, we hate each other, and it's like, that's just not reality. You go to any store right now, there's love, there's kindness,
Yeah.
people are optimistic, there's
Yeah.
great human beings, and I think,
Dude, yes.
why don't we spend time talking about that? Instead we talk about the crazy psycho shit that happens,
Yeah,
and we've had crazy psycho shit forever.
Yep.
And here nor there. Here's what I would tell you, Joe, is going into 2026, I think it's going to be one of the best real estate markets that we've ever seen in our lifetime. I really, truly believe that, and it's just because I think that a lot of people that continue to wait for these rates, I think they're getting fed up. I think they're going to be able to buy a good house. I think rates are going to drop a little bit. I think people are going to start to feel better. And I honestly think we're starting to shift back towards, let's go back to just getting in front of people, social media, the pandemic, staying inside, not being human with each other has shown us so many negative things. So I think we're going to continue to see people meet, come together, have happiness, have kindness. I mean, again, crazies are going to come up, but I think for the most part, I'm super excited about where it's going. I really do. I mean, I don't care what anybody says.
Dude, I love that. Dude, you're giving me energy today, man. This is
Joe,
awesome.
I'm just positive, baby. I just don't buy into crazy, That's
Fuck
why
those people.
Well, and I think the other thing, Joe, as I would tell you is, I'm sure you know these stats, but if you look at social media the first 30 minutes you wake up, you're 70% less likely to be happy throughout the day, right? And your level of happiness is dramatically shifted negatively if you look at social media for the first 30 minutes you wake up. So don't look at your phone, read an email, or like maybe listen to a podcast or a book, and you'll be surprised at your level of happiness versus someone that's like, scrolling on social,
dude, Me and my wife woke up this morning, the last 2 days. So I wake up, I have like a morning routine, right? Like I drink water, pour coffee, use the restroom. I go on my back porch, I pray, meditate, affirmations, all that stuff. Yeah, man, I just got to get my head right, dude. Like I want to be on offense, not on defense, right? And so, dude, the last 2 days, my wife, she like I see her just go right to Instagram. I was like, no, like as if a bomb's gonna go off. I'm like, no, and it's so funny you say that. I'm gonna tell my wife, I'm gonna do Koby Sway said to get off that fucking Instagram first thing in the morning.
Look it up. Just tell her to look at the articles. It's insane. Your chemical deficiencies in the way your brain works and the way it operates. You always, and then what is it, like 1,000 times a day we think negative versus like, 2 positive? So it's just like, what's going to be good on Instagram? Like a trip you're not going to be happy about, more money, and they're taking fake pictures, right? Like we could all take pictures of like, oh, look, I'm on the beach. It's like, that person is miserable. The other thing that's cool, Joe, I'm going on a ramble.
Yeah, I love it.
What's funny is when someone's like, hey, take a picture, right? And what's crazy about it, think of this, and you know this, kids are screaming, shit's on the walls, people are going nuts, but you're like, God, let's just all huddle into this Christmas photo. And we're like, cheese! And then it was the worst day ever, but we took that one amazing photo, and we felt like that was the best Christmas. It's like, well, no, that Christmas, grandfather passed away that night, the baby was shitting everywhere, we had this go on, somebody broke something, but we took that one happy photo, and that's the son of a bitch that goes on Instagram. And people are like, look at that happy family. It's like, we didn't know. My wife just hit me in the face when we got divorced yesterday, or whatever. But we took that one happy photo.
Totally.
That's why.
Well, yeah, it puts everything out of perspective. I think, dude, I'll say this, man. I just deleted all that shit off my phone, man. Like, I'll go on Insta, like, all right, so I do agent attraction, right? And so, I got a big part of like, yeah, you have to use Instagram for your work, for your job, right?
You have to.
It's like a pain in the ass, but I'll turn it on and then I'll turn it off, but I'll get it off my phone because there's just so much negative stuff, and I just don't want to be a part of any of it. But you're right, man. It's like my mom's like, dude, like our parents, dude, they like, I don't know, I'm not going to speak for your parents, but like, you see a lot of it where it's like, they just put on the news channel, whichever one they like, right? And they just leave it on. And then when you go see them, they're just talking about all the bad shit, like how like, and it's like, dude, I don't want to, dude, I said today, dude, an agent called me today. I was like, hey, I'm like, I don't do drama, man. I'm like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I don't do any of this stuff. Dude, let me ask you, who is a famous person that you've met?
Famous person I met? Oh, gosh. I'm not a big celebrity famous kind of guy.
But have you like run into someone at the airport, or was there ever like a person where it was like, oh, like for instance, I'll tell you mine. Mine is like when I was a kid, I was at Shea Stadium, we're at a Mets game, and I ran into Bill Murray, and he like signed my baseball. So it was
That's
like a
cool.
cool, it was a cool thing. And if you don't have one, you don't have one.
I mean, I could probably share some, but I think what's so interesting is my wife used to watch. This is embarrassing. Used to watch Teen Mom, Sweet 16. That just so you know, like one of the ladies there, her family lives here, right? So like you see her from time to time, and
Wow.
you see her family. And I've actually, what's interesting is I actually hired one of her family members. So I don't know if I consider them famous. You know what I mean? Like, have I ran into Warren Buffett in Omaha? No. He goes to the same places. We could run into Warren. Um, I have seen some at airports from time to time for sure. I've like not walked up to them, but I've seen them many times. Or like MTV. I love MTV, The Challenge. I sat in front of some challengers before at a baseball game. So like,
Which
yes
ones?
and no. Um, God, you're putting me on the spot now. What's the one we
Dude,
just
I
saw?
love the challenge, dude. I love
Me
bananas.
too.
I love CT, dude.
Oh God, I love it.
Dude, it's the best.
Casey, we just saw Casey. Last summer. I saw Casey. It was this summer, I suppose. This past summer, I saw Casey at a game. It was at a conference, a real estate conference we were at, and she was sitting right in front of me with her friends. And I was like, God, I should go get a picture with Casey. And then I come back and she's gone. I'm like, God damn it, Koby.
That's so funny, man. Dude, I was just at no, I love me and my wife, like so there's those like shows that we watch that's like kind of dumb, but kind of love it, you know? Kind of
We watch
dumb.
lots of dumb shows.
But dude, those guys, holy shit, dude. Like that dude bananas. How does he win so many times, dude? Like he's so good at that thing.
How do they
Holy
just vote
shit.
him off? I don't understand it. He finds a way. It's like CT. CT's like older and he's slower, so they're like, oh, he's not a threat. And then also he just wins. And it's like,
Yeah.
how do you get rid of him?
Oh my god, I love it, dude. I love it, dude. I love
I
it.
love the challenge.
Dude, that's so funny. All right, cool, man. I think let me check my questions over here, dude. We just got through. That went fast, dude. We got through a bunch of stuff, man. Is there any questions I should have asked that I didn't ask?
I don't think so. I think it's just, it's organic. We're throwing stuff around. We're jumping around. We're talking about crazies and society and politics. And I think at the end of the day, what's crazy, scary, Joe, and I don't know, maybe I'll get your opinion on this, but what I think is insane, and I love X for whatever reason, just because I like to watch live trending sometimes. Sometimes I hop on, like, hey, there was a car accident, and you can see real time, like, oh, what is it? So I like going on X, but what I don't like about it, Joe, is I go on there and it trends me the most horrific negative things that kind of fit my narrative, right? And
Yep.
not even like I'm looking for horrific narrative things. What, like if I click on an article for like something, or I'm reading an article about Donald Trump or Joe Biden or whatever, it'll show me only the things I want. And that's why I think another reason why it's got to be looked at and monitored, because like I only see today, I see the most crazy wild stuff about Joe Biden. I see the most crazy negative things about Elon Musk, and I love Elon Musk. FYI, I have Tesla, and I follow him. I read his books. I love his horsepower. Whether you agree with him or not, I think at the end of the day, he was probably one of the smartest people in the world, and he's a workaholic. But anyway, what I was saying is, you look at some of the stuff that, like I said, I look at Elon, and the next thing you know, it's like he's a racist, or he's this, or he's that, and it's like you get mad, and it's like you wouldn't be that mad. It's just some random crazy person that sent it, and there's how many people in the world, and it shows me this one thing, and I'm like, I'm so pissed now, Joe. So that's the one thing I get nervous about. What are your thoughts on that? Like, how do you think that's going to help our human development with our kids? Like, is that scary for you? Do you feel like, what do you?
Yeah, I saw a thing where it was like, yeah, thanks for sharing that, man. And thank you for asking me. I think the stat I keep seeing is like, I don't know, you shouldn't give your kids a phone before they're 13 or something, right? Like there's an age where it's like you shouldn't give them a phone, right? I think like our kids, man, we got Max is 4, Milo's 9.
You have two boys, right?
2 boys, yeah. We do like screen time. There's no screen time during the week, and on the weekends it's like an hour, right? Friday, Saturday, and Sunday it's like an hour. Milo likes to he likes to play Minecraft or whatever, but like Yeah, man, I think it's dangerous, dude. Like everyone wants to persuade us, dude. There's too many there's too many like conglomerates and corporations and money, and
Yes.
they're coming together. Like I said, dude, like everything's coming together, dude. You know what? I like, yeah, what you said, man. Shit, man.
And I get they want to keep your eyes on their product. You know what I mean? Like whether it's like I
Dude,
love,
everyone's got a narrative, man. Everyone's got
yeah,
a narrative. Like you look at it, and dude, listen, dude, I have no opinions on outside issues, dude. If you're gonna ask me about politics or religion, I'm not gonna engage, dude. I'm not gonna engage, man. Right?
Same.
See,
And
I'm really lucky.
I'll have side banter, and I'll be like, "Oh, Joe,
Yeah.
that's great." Like, I don't care if it's red, white, blue. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit.
dude, I'm really lucky, dude. I'm a recovering alcoholic, right? I'm sober, right? And I have
Good
a
for
program.
you.
Thanks, man. I have
Good
6.5
for you.
years, and
Wow.
I have a program that I run, and I like run my program, and I just quoted something from my program. We have no opinions on outside issues. That's how AI. That's how AA stays unified because we have no like if someone comes in. Dude, you're with like a Make America Great hat and they're looking to start some shit. It doesn't work in our program. Like we will shut it down. Same thing with some like, Biden stuff, like you said, right? So like, dude, I don't have any opinions on outside issues, dude. And all the stuff that's going on, whether it's like the Charlie Kirk stuff, Jimmy Kimmel, whatever,
Yeah.
dude. Like I'm not, dude. Like my Jewish friends are asking me about Palestine, and I'm like, dude, I'm not doing it, dude. I'm not doing it. And here's the thing, man. I'll have a conversation about how I feel with people that I really, really, really trust.
Same.
I keep my circle small. And by the way, I'll have a conversation with you about how I feel because I trust you, and I'm not going to try and influence you. I will share with you how
Same.
I feel, and I'll share my opinion, and that'll be it. But the thing is these there's a lot of fucking fear, man. And I was just talking to a guy yesterday. I was talking to a guy yesterday. I actually sponsor him in our program. The guy's older than me, got a ton of program, and he's like sharing with me how he's just bummed about like he's on this text thread with his brother and his dad about the Charlie Kirk incident, which is horrible, right? And like, but his brother's like super liberal, dad's super conservative, and they're just fighting about like the dad's like, and he's like, dude, I'm just gonna stay out of this stuff, dude. But like the thing is, this is people, it all boils down to fear, man. It all comes down to fear, right? Like ego is fear, insecurity is fear, anger is fear, right? That's what I mean. All that stuff boils down to fear, right? And then when do we make you asked me how I feel, right? When do we make irrational decisions? It's when we react. We react when we're scared, right? We react when we haven't thought things through. And that's like what they want, right? And so like they want me to like and dude, like on my feed is like I'm obsessed about food, right? Like eat like the red 30. Like that's where I get fucking crazy, dude. Is like what my kids eat and shit. Ask my wife, dude. Like I follow all the wrong like there's a food babe or whatever. I follow all the wrong shit to be like my wife will bring home Chick-fil-A and I'll be like, you can't eat that. That's where my craziness will go or whatever. But so like they'll keep selling that shit to me, right? Like.
Oh yeah.
Like, dude, I'm drinking a Diet Coke. I love this shit, dude. I know it'll show up my feed. Like, I'm gonna die because I drank. Like, you know what I mean? I could drink water, eat vegetables, eat grass-fed beef. I don't drink anymore, but like that's gonna fucking kill me. But dude, yeah, I think they just dude, I think what we have to do is we have to dude, if you really want to eat the right food, you should have a garden in your backyard. You know what I mean? Belong to the community center if you don't have one. Watch what you eat. But yeah, dude, I think they're just like. There's big business, man. It's all about money, and people have a narrative. They want you to buy into it, and they do it by scaring you. And I think really what you could do is you could shut the fucking social media down. You can go talk to your fucking neighbor, dude. You could talk to your community, like go for a walk, like read books, like do all that shit, man. And it's getting harder and harder and harder because it's like, dude, what do our kids want to do? If you give them a phone, they're going to sit in their fucking bed, dude. They're going to be like, what is that movie? Is that movie Wall-E at the end where all the fat people are on rascals? Like, they're on like a cruise ship in the sky, dude. And they're all just like, they're not they get out of their bed onto their rascal and they're like, it's a Disney movie, right? But that's, or like that movie Idiocracy. You ever see that one?
Yes, I've seen it.
Like, that's like, dude, when you see like Triple H in the White House, you're like, oh my God, this is Idiocracy. It's like happening. But dude, I just want to like, dude, I get up every morning and I pray to God and I say, God, who can I help today? Who could I be of service to, dude? Like, and that's really it, man. Like, if I could be of service and help other people and just make this world a better place, dude, and not like buy into all this bullshit. It's like, also, I grew up a punk rocker, man. Like, I grew up outside New York. I went to CBGBs. I was into artists and people that had like different ideas and radical ideas that really weren't that radical, but like we should be thinking for ourselves, right?
Yes.
And that's really, and that's radical these days. Like, I'm going to think for myself. And thinking for yourself means having your own opinions by reading books, listening to podcasts, like you said, having conversations with different, and by the way, like, you should challenge each other, dude. Like, okay, your business. You just told me about your leaders, your operating manager, your team leader, your sales coach, your analyst. I believe you, as the general manager, you expect those people to challenge you, right? Like, that's how you grow a business. Like,
of course.
Like, what do you see that I don't see? Poke holes in it, right? And that's the way that we should be communicating with people that we care about, dude, right? And then the crazies, dude, or whatever. Like, dude, I was talking about the Avatar for Oz group. Dude, we just started. Like, if somebody comes in, like, we use Humanize, or people will just email us or whatever. Like, when those people come in, I used to be like, what's up? You want to join? You want to join? Now I'm like, all right, let me check out their social media. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let me see. Like, first of all, if you've been in the business for 3 years, does your social media look like you're a realtor? Number two, if they're one way or the other politically, or they're polarized when it comes to anything, the answer is no, because I just don't need that craziness in my life.
No.
Anyway, you asked me. That's how I feel. What do you think, man? Are you in line with some of that? Or?
No, totally. I'm the same. And I tell people all the time, it should be simple, right? Charlie Kirk, and let's just keep it that simple. It's to me, whether you agree or disagree, we should all be on the same page. We should not have hate. Violence should never be the answer, period, end of story. And if you're talking about hurting others and violence and hate, those people shouldn't be around us. It's that simple, right? And it should come down to violence, right? So whether you like Donald or you don't like Donald, it shouldn't be violent. Whether you like Joe or you didn't like Joe, and it doesn't matter, because in the day, it's not you can have an opinion as long as it doesn't be, fear mongering, like you said, talking about violence, insinuating violence. But at the end of the day, rioting and peaceful rioting has been going on forever. So it's like, guys, there's a difference, again, to me, between having an opinion is, hey, I don't like what Elon said the other day. Hey, you know what? Me neither. Tell me more about it. Well, I think this and that. I want to hurt him. That's a problem. I don't agree with what he's saying, and this is what upsets me about it. He said something about pro-abortion or kids or whatever. It's like, oh, wow, okay, well, I understand that impacts you, but I also think it's difficult as a man sometimes to tell a woman how to think, right? So it's difficult for me to try to judge somebody based on, like, I'm not in that example. So, like, again, I'm not a wealthy person. I'm not a celebrity. I can't say that all the lights are on you and a celebrity falls down the stairs and they're drunk and it's like, oh, this celebrity, and it's like, but I can't put myself in their shoes. So, like, I can judge them from the outside. What does that do for me in my life, right? Like, so it's just like, why would you judge others that you can't control yourself? Because, and again, if we want to keep it simple, I don't know everything about you, Joe, and you don't know everything about me, but at the end of the day, I think we're both human beings. We both get up and want to help people, and we both have the same kind-spirited mentality of giving back to others. I think if you give everyone what they want, you'll get everything in your life that you want. It's that simple. I love the servant leadership thing you said, Joe.
For sure, dude. And I have a crazy idea. Yo, you were talking about, like, and by the way, when this stuff all pops up, you have an option to leave it the fuck alone.
Totally.
You just like this, like, I don't like this pen. I just never associate with that shit ever again. And that's me, dude.
And then just leave it alone.
And by the way, a lot of what I talk about is, like, when I say I'm sober, like, I do a program. It's the most important thing in my life. Like, I sponsor guys. I go to 3 meetings a week, all that shit. And one thing they taught me in the program is, because, by the way, when you come into AA, you don't show up on a winning streak, You're not usually like, you're not there because shit is good, And one thing they taught, and, like, usually when I showed up, there was a lot of self-centeredness, a lot of things I needed to work on. And one thing I learned that really stuck out to me was, I was told this, does this need to be said? Does this need to be said right now? Does this need to be said right now by me? And if we said that shit to ourselves, which I try to do, right, on a daily basis, I'm like, yeah, does this shit need to be said? This shit need to be said by me. This shit need to be said by me right now. That's a fucking huge one where it's like, what? Because guess what, Kobe, a lot of times the answer is no. The answer is no.
Sure.
That does not need to be said right now.
It's like reading an email before you send it, Joe. It's like, should I send an email? Let me walk around for 10 minutes and then I'll send it, right? Like
that's the Brene Brown, right? The shitty first draft, right? Like you can like write it and like you can like it's when you call your friend and you're like just throw up on them and you're like, all right, I got that out of my system. Now I'm gonna go be a normal human being. And that's a lot about having the conversations with people that you trust. Because when you have so dude, having small circles of people that you trust allows you to say what's on your mind, and also those people know that, like, you know, that might not be the fucking final draft, you know what I mean? That might be the first draft, you know? And you're allowed to like it's a safe, like I always say this, right? Like I'm in my gratitude lists, I try to do a gratitude list in the morning and at night. I definitely do one gratitude list every single day. And my wife, her name's Nicole, she will come up on that gratitude list very often. One of the things I'm most grateful for, she is I can trust her, which means it's a safe space where I can like talk about how I'm feeling and my emotions and what I'm thinking. And she knows that like, if I'm like pop off, she's like, that Joe doesn't really mean that. You know what I mean? Like, or she can help me, or if I'm thinking the wrong way, she can like readjust it for me, right? Like, hey, maybe that's about you, or maybe, yeah. So it's like, cause dude, we live in a world where if you share your feelings, man, to the wrong person, they're coming for you, man.
And this stuff's documented. You put it online, they'll find it 20 years later and said, you know, Kobe and Joe were at a podcast and they said something about Charlie Kirk, and the next thing you know, it's like, guys,
which we didn't, but
we didn't. We literally said it's about, you know, whether you agree or disagree, it's about love and kindness and helping people. So
that came up because that's the hottest topic right now in the world.
Yeah,
and the thing is people make it about them no matter what, and I think that's the issue, right? Like the fact that someone was killed is really horrible, and the fact that it was politically, you know, was used politically, that was horrible. But yeah, it's like a lot of people are saying some shit online that should be said in private.
Yeah, it's just like, guys, and again, what's interesting is what social media is think about it, right? It's just like you said, is you have close-knit people, friends, family, that you bounce ideas off of. You're going to be around, and I tell people this all the time, I'm sure you do too, you're your net worth of your 3 closest people, right? Whether that's income, or that's the nature-nurture thing. So if you're going to school, and you're hanging out with someone like, hey, you want to skip school, let's get drunk? You're going to make a decision, and you're either going to become a drinking friend, and you're going to continue to skip and be drinking friends. Or you're going to be like, oh, my friend's not for me. I need to find a new friend, right? That's what social media is. We're finding different groups.
Wow, that's funny.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's something to think about. But I think another thing that I want to say is I think therapy. Joe, I would tell you, I started therapy this last year. Best thing of my life. Nice. I don't drink either, Joe. Just, haven't for 3 years.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah. But congrats on your sobriety, too. I mean, that's huge, Joe. I mean, alcohol is so deadly. I cannot believe it's such a social thing.
Well, dude, whatever, it's like you just said, man, whatever is normal in your social circle is normal. Like people think doing cocaine is like normal. They think that's just like, dude, I didn't do drugs. I drank a lot. That was my problem. But I would remember going to a wedding and a dude I just sitting at the table with that I knew he's like, hey, you want to go in the bathroom? And I'm like, what? You're a teacher. What? I'm like, what are you talking about?
How do you guys survive these crazy kids?
I'm like, drugs are normal to you? What? But all right, cool, dude. I'm gonna wrap it up, dude. That was awesome. That's an hour, man. We just killed an hour talking shit. Let me. Where can people find you, man? You're on Instagram. You're not on Instagram. Your team.
Yeah, so we run the Briley Real Estate team, but you can look me up Facebook, Instagram, Koby Sway. Luckily, there's not a ton of us, so you'll be able to find me. You can always reach out to me, bounce ideas off me. I'm also a huge fan of, like, I was in this seat, and somebody has helped me along the way. So, like, it sounds like we run a big badass business, but I can tell you, like, when I got here, it was really trying to figure out how I can learn from the smartest, and luckily along the way, kind, nice people help me. So
wow, that's awesome, man. All right, cool. I'm gonna stop this right now.